This is I think I'm live. Wait for some folks to get in here and we'll see what's going on. There we go. Confirmation from my man Andy Davis. What's up, buddy? There we go. All right, so we are live. So this is the second one that I've done so far, and I know tonight is Unparalleled Universe's stream also, but this is the only night tonight. The only night this week I was going to be able to do this. So we're doing it now, and we're gonna cross the streams, I suppose, with Wade. So we got a big ass box of toys in today. Is really what it came down to. I got a humongous box of toys, and I said last time that the next time we did one of these, when it came to like a toy haul, I was just going to do it live. I figured it'd be more fun. That way, you know, we could maybe open a few things and not necessarily just take a look at them as I pull them out of the box. So this is one that I think I'm going to do a little bit of a contest for this, and I am going to be on Wade's Friday night stream this week actually. To answer you, Nighterren 789. I should be on this Friday, unless something goes wrong or something goes weird. I'll be on this Friday. I was originally going to do it in a couple weeks, but we had some scheduling conflicts. So I'll be on this week. So we're gonna go through some stuff that I got just in the past couple of days, and then we're also going to go through, the big box that you saw in the thumbnail for the Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot. I can't even pick it up; it's so big. There's no way I can put it in front of the camera. So we're going to do a little bit of a contest too, and I'll talk about it once we get to this box to potentially give something away, just something that's I figure maybe someone might be interested in, but then just as a fun little thing, if someone wants to take a guess at something, we'll do a little bit of a giveaway. So we're going to start here. Take a quick drink. We'll get started. We're going to take a look at some stuff that I got in the past few days, and then we're going to get into the big bad pile of loot. So I am going to have to reach across screen to get some of this stuff because, again, the box is just so stupid big. This thing is it's like 3 feet long. It's that big, so it's taking up a lot of real estate right now just to even do this. So we're going to start with some Star Wars stuff. Yeah, some Star Wars. Actually, that's it. It's all Star Wars stuff as far as the stuff that I got recently. So all of the GameStop figures that just started coming out, they all kind of hit back to back to back. So we got Darth Nihilus, and I think this guy looks pretty cool. We might open him up here in a few minutes just to take a look at him. Let's see what is that? I keep getting all these comments that need to be approved. That actually is probably going to be the giveaway idea is for someone to guess how much this box weighs, because I know I'm going to go based off of the FedEx manifest how much it weighs. It's down to like the 1/10 of a pound, so that's probably what it's going to be. But we've got the new what are they? Not Gamerverse, that's Marvel. The Gaming Greats stuff. So I don't know. I wasn't very hot on this stuff originally. That's Jedi Nighterren and the Battle Droid, and of course I bought them. But like this figure looks exceptional. I'm so happy with the way this thing turned out. It looks really good. I mean, I haven't gotten into it, but it looks really good. But it's all about this guy. So we all know that this thing was a huge pain in the ass to get a hold of when what is it? Jedi Fallen Order came out. You had to like pre-order the bundle, most likely, to get it, because that's how I got mine. But a lot of folks were able to just sort of walk in and get them. But it's about like the purple for me and the Electro Staff that's really doing it. But it's just the fact that I was able to get it finally. And I have the regular one, but I ordered that bundle just so I could get that figure, the original one. And then I never really played the game because I don't find myself with a lot of time to play games these days. So I got the game, I got pissed off at a certain spot, and I just stopped playing it. And then I enjoyed the figure. But that's my fault for starting it on like the super difficulty or whatever it was. But I got 2 of these because I think that was the max. Because GameStop does that thing where you have there's like a order limit. I don't know if I need more than 2. because I've got the regular one, so we'll probably just keep it at that. I'm not really sure. We'll see. What was the other one? I found these at Target today. So we've got Cara Dune. So this is the one that's the credit collection thing. So I honestly did not have any idea what this thing meant, because when all of the news for this thing came out, I was in a car on the road to a bachelor party, and I missed a lot of the pre-orders, and I certainly missed a pre-order for her because, of course, it's Target, and the bots gobbled her up. But I didn't realize what the credit collection actually meant, and I feel kind of stupid for it now. I thought it was just the credit that it came with, but it actually says on the back of the box that it's specifically meant to be the artwork from the credits of the show, which I did not. I didn't pick up on that. It didn't dawn on me at all. But I walked into Target today, and this is the one that I missed on pre-order, and there were a dozen of these just sitting on the pegs. It was like noon too, and they had been out for a couple hours. No one wanted her. Just like most Target things like we're seeing right now, pre-orders sell out in a minute because bots are stupid and gobble everything up. But then when they actually get to stores, they kind of languish on pegs, except for G.I. Joe stuff, because that's a different situation. But just like the Storm Thunderbird 2-pack, there are millions of those out there, and they sold out in half a second on pre-order. But I can walk to my store right now, and they had 8 of them today. So yeah. And then we got this guy from GameStop. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I got 2 of each of them because I want to. When it comes to carded Black Series, I like to keep one carded because I'm an idiot. So we'll do that. But I really like this. I don't know. I really like it. Maybe it's just the fact that it's like, different kind of art style. It's the card backs. I don't really care about the little credit things in there. That's irrelevant to me. But like, I like the fact that IG-11 looks different enough that you could use him as a different droid. Like, he doesn't have to be that if you want to do something a little bit different on your shelf. But I really like Kara's colors. So, yeah, I think Kara should be relatively easy to get. I mean, here in town, I know that she popped up everywhere. Every single store had her today, and they had her pretty much nonstop. And I'm getting text messages. I'm gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Too late for text messages. Come on. So, yeah. And then I got another Dark Nihilist because I don't know why. But so that's like the stuff, the regular stuff that I just picked up the past few days. My wife found me a few vintage collection figures, but nothing that's really worth putting on camera. Nidorin, your Tard only has an ass load of Captain Cardinals. I saw him one time. That was it. My store has not had hardly any of the Galaxy's Edge stuff. I've seen them all, but like one of each, and then I ended up getting them all online. So my mileage has been a little bit different when it comes to that. I don't need Pyre because I actually have that 3-pack, and I'm not so hot on that droid. I'll probably just walk in and grab him, but I'm not going to go out of my way for him. Whatever it is, Hondo's droid. I don't even know his name is R5 something. But I don't know if this is the greatest prize, but here we go. We're going to do it. So we're about 15 minutes in, and there's 45 people here right now. So we've got a Cobra Commander. This is the infamous network Cobra Commander, which means absolutely nothing. 0, nothing, means nothing at all. It's Cobra Commander. But we're going to do a contest. So once we're done going through the box, the big bad box, if you can tell me how much it weighs, then you get Cobra Commander. You can just send me a message on Instagram, and we'll iron out the nitty gritty details to get him shipped to you. But I don't need a second one, and I have no reason to not give this away to somebody, especially if you're going to take the time to hang out with me for a little bit. So, I mean, it's a great figure. So if you don't have him, now's the time to chime in. But once we're done, let me know how much you think this box weighs, not counting the stuff I just showed, because that was not in the box. It wouldn't fit either. So it's a big box. It's the biggest box I have ever gotten from Big Bad Toy Store in size, weight, and contents. So if you saw the last really big thing that I did, it's pretty close to that. That one was a bunch of toys. It wasn't just Big Bad Toy Store. That counted towards the weights I posted on the picture. So this one's a little bit different. So let's see. Network is a Karen. All right. So, I don't know if there's going to be much of a theme to this because this box is, I mean, it's packed pretty interesting. I already opened it up because we got a big old box in, and of course, the kid lost her mind because she knows what Big Bad Toy Store tape looks like, so she knew it was toys. So of course, she and I went through it, and I couldn't put it all back in because it's like a Tetris type situation in here. I don't know how they put these things together and how it all gets here without getting damaged because they did a hell of a job. That's not really a big thing about like buy from Big Bad Toy Store, but they do a good job of shipping, and I was pretty happy with the way this turned out. So let's go. There's turtles in here. There's some Marvel stuff, some Star Wars stuff, figure arts, NECA. Well, I guess that goes in hand. Well, not necessarily, but let's start with some turtle stuff. These have been in my pile for a while. And I just they kind of landed right after I shipped the last one, and I kind of missed them. And so these are kind of old at this point. But the Turtles in Time Wave 2. So I've got this guy here, and we've let's see. People says we're looking a little blurry. Let's see what's going on. Let me know how it looks. There's about not a hell of a whole lot I can really do about it down here. If my internet's taking a shit on itself right now, apparently. Let's see how we stack up for a bit. So we've got Turtles in Time Wave 2, the Shredder with the goof. He's got like that monster hand in there, whatever, that you can grab them. Yeah, it's my internet. Let me see what's going on. Kind of move things around. Potato-y. There was a toy line for Cthulhu, Derek Sentinel. It was that. It was Warpo Toys back a while ago. Let's see what's going on. The last thing I want is for a shitty experience. You can barely see. See what's going on. I don't want to have to call it quits if the internet's too shitty. It's working pretty normally for me. Get a hamster on that wheel. But of course, it's going to look great for me. See what I can change up here. Watchable, but not great. That's not what I want. Trying to check it out on my phone to see what it looks like, just get an idea. I don't want it to look like shit for everyone. Row V, those are the new Triceratons, yes. All right, let's see if this picks up a little bit. All right, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna try to power through for at least a few minutes to see what happens. So, where did I leave? Turtles in Time. Oh, what's that? Sludge Gnome Ken. That is the Cthulhu from Warpo Toys. It was a Kickstarter line 6, 7, 8 years ago, 7 years ago maybe. The Cthulhu wasn't part of the Kickstarter that I remember, but it was a bunch of 3 3/4 inch figures. It's just it's like a 16-inch kind of 5 POA-ish thing. If that helps at all. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long while. I did the whole Kickstarter thing. I met those guys at C2B2 back in it was 2014. So it was like 2013 when the Kickstarter came around. If that helps at all. I don't even think the figures are in any way rare either. I know local stores around here had them for a long, long time. Okay, but yeah, moving on. So Turtles in Time. I don't know if I'm actually even going to get around to reviewing these. I'm not really sure. They've been done and done and done. And honestly, I mean, the only new figure here is what old Shredhead really. So we've already gotten this big guy. He's got a few different things. If I had JD Gibson, if I had to pick NECA or Super 7, I don't know. I would probably say Super 7. Just if I had to pick one line only, it would probably be Super 7. But I want both, just because it's so different. Like I try not to compare the two. Yeah, Dan reviewed the Cthulhu stuff a long time ago. I mean, again, it was like years and years and years. My man 86 Reviews, what's up, dude? So speaking of Super 7, I've got some more. So I mentioned these on the stream last week that I was going to get more Super 7 turtles. And these take up a big chunk of this box. And I have to do this because I feel like I need to get one of these out. Just because, I mean, this is just like the best packaging to pull one of these out. So there are a few of these in this box. And I had mentioned this previously, that I was going to end up with 5 foot soldiers from Super 7. I had the one that they sent me for review, and then Jay Hernandez sold me one, and then I got a bunch of more stuff at BBTS. So we got 1 foot soldier, 2 foot soldiers, Splinter, 3 foot soldiers, Baxter, and I know if you keep up with the channel, you know already all of these. These are separate figures. These aren't the same ones that I've had for 2 months. And then wrap. So I got an entire other set of Wave 1 that I had on pre-ordered, and then 2 more foot soldiers. Row V, are you getting any figs from the new Super 7 Wave? Which wave? Turtles Wave? I'm all in on Turtles. Super 7 Wave 4 is up for pre-order soon? Now? Soon, right? Because Thundercats just went up, so I think Turtles are next. I feel like I should know this, and I should to wholeheartedly say one way or another. But they're not up yet. Just it was Thundercats for Wave 4. And then Turtles is always after Thundercats, even though they shipped backwards. So as far as Turtles goes, 6 Super 7 and 4 NECA, if you're keeping count of figures so far. So 4 of those and 6 of those. Is Wave 4 up? Turtles Wave, maybe. So did I already pre-order those? I must have pre-ordered those. I mean, I don't know. You can see I'm losing track. I'll have to go back and check. I'm sure I did, but I'll have to go back and check. I trust that you guys are correct that it is. It sounds right because Thundercats is ending, so Turtles should already be up. Marvel stuff, these are nothing special. I got finally these figures hit my pile of loot right after I shipped it last time. So these are just old. The Mysterio, the retro one, which has all the crazy wash in there. I kind of like this one better. What's your all's opinions on this one? I'm not really sure if anybody has too much of a preference one way or the other, but I like the wash all over them. It just makes them stand out a little bit more. And then of course the card back is fantastic. When it comes to like these repaints, I usually leave these sealed. Like I have like that Storm, the black one. I left her sealed. The Gray Beast, I left that one sealed because I didn't really know what to do with them. And I don't know. And then this big guy. So I already have the Build-A-Figure, but I mean, who doesn't want Kingpin, right? So this thing, so Wave 4 did go up in NYCC week. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't do it. Maybe I didn't pre-order it yet. Makes me want to check. Maybe I didn't pre-order it yet. Got me worried. So Kingpin. So we're up to 2 Marvel Legends and too many turtles. Too many turtles. So let's see. Trying to see where else to go next when it comes to branching out from. Nidoran. This card back is huge. I don't keep all of the card backs, so I'm not really sure if this is bigger than the Hulk. And I wonder. I haven't gotten Heavy Mando yet to see if how big that one comes on. How big of a card that one comes on. This thing is massive. It's huge. It's huge. I do like it though. The novelty of the cards really does it for me. So they are the same size. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why they would have changed it, but I don't. Gray Hulk is the one I'm thinking of. Gray Hulk is the one that I have, and I don't think I kept that card actually, so I'm not sure. Eric, anything from Mcfarland coming out soon stand out to me? That Flashpoint Batman does look pretty cool. The unhelmeted or the one without the cowl on looks pretty good too. I don't know anything about that though. Mcfarland puts out a bunch of DC stuff that I don't know anything about, so that thing looks kind of cool. And then like more of the Warhammer stuff seems kind of cool. That seems kind of cool. I mean, I did like that Space Marine that I got. I reviewed him recently, and even though I don't really know a great deal about that, it's definitely something that I'm interested in. So let's see. And I'm trying to think, what else is McFarlane doing? I don't do any of the My Hero Academia stuff. I don't know anything about that. So I don't watch that or buy that stuff either. McFarlane Bat Cycle. I don't know that I know I've seen it. I don't remember the one for the like the Grim Reaper kind of Batman looking guy. But I haven't found any recent McFarlane stuff. It's been really, really few and far between. I haven't seen anything new in store, and none of my pre-orders have shipped either. It's not a priority for me either, though, because I've said DC's like not my thing. I like it, but it's not my thing. And then even the toys, like I'm not going to prioritize McFarlane DC over Marvel Legends or Star Wars or anything like that. Stuff. Okay, so we'll go back to NECA. I think this is the last NECA. So I got the Wave 2 of Alien 40th Anniversary. So these are the specialty series ones. So we had Wave 1 that was at Target, and that was Ripley and Dallas and the Proto Alien. But this is Parker, and this is the first time he's been done. Right. I tried Andrew Branch. I tried to watch My Hero Academia, and I don't know. Like I never really got into it. It could just be that I just didn't give it enough of a chance, but I just never really got too far with it. And then we've got the Bloody Alien. So this makes the Big Chap, Proto Alien, the Glow in the Dark one, and this is the 4th figure they've put out of this in, I don't know, 6 months. So they're getting their money out of that. And the last one is Brett. And he comes with the same thing that Ripley comes with, but he's got like the cattle prod in there. Padamus Prime, what Megazord is that? That Megazord is it's the X Plus Gigantic Megazord. So it was it's from 2016. It's like 16 inches tall. It doesn't really move. It has some articulation, but it's mostly just like a big vinyl statue. But it's like the most screen accurate Megazord toy that's ever been made. Like it's basically the suit, just done in plastic. Very expensive. It's like $300, but it goes for like $1,000 now. It's probably like one of my rarest toys because it, unbeknownst to me, it was a made-to-order pre-order at the time, and I just happened to get in on it at the last second, and there it is. But it's really cool. I kind of wish, but hopefully, I hope that they do not ever do any more because it's big, and I don't have any room for it. Okay, so we're at 6 Super 7 turtles. We're at 4 NECA turtles, 3 alien figures, and 2 Marvel Legends. For those keeping track as the technical difficulties continue. For anybody else who didn't hear or came in late, if you can guess the weight of this box, you get a Cobra Commander figure. And we're not gonna do like Price is Right. It doesn't matter if you go over. Closest gets it. So let's see. We'll do. You want to see how the Baraka and Marauder figure? I do want. Speaking of Mcfarland stuff, I did pre-order the. What is it? The Spawn, the Bloody Spawn. I'm not really sure why. I'm not why because I don't know anything about that suit. I don't know anything about it or anything. But we're gonna go as far as weight goes. We're gonna go as specific as possible because anybody could throw out a solid number. So I would suggest being specific. Let's wait until we get closer to the end, so I don't have to go back through all the comments and try to find it. Black Series, just like last week, I got more Stormtroopers from Big Bad Toy Store. This I think is going to be it for me when it comes to Troopers. I don't know that I can justify anymore. I forgot that I actually had these in there, and I had more pre-ordered on Pulse, and I canceled a couple of there because I don't need any more than that. So we got that. So that's 2 Black Series. I think I'm up to. I think I've got 8 Black Series Troopers. I'm waiting on a case of the recent wave, the one that has the Incinerator Trooper, and then my Venom Wave case shipped today too from Entertainment Earth. So I'm really looking forward to that Incinerator Trooper. I'm really not looking forward to that case because I realized after I got the Endor set that I don't really need any of those figures because it's got 5 exclusives in it and 3 army builders. So it's got the Incinerator Trooper, the new Phase 1, and a Hoth Rebel Trooper. But it's already got the 3 Endor figures, which I've already got. It's got the Armorer, which I'm getting from Pulse tomorrow, the exclusive version. And then it's got Cad Bane, which I've got the exclusive version of that too. So I guess I'll be selling a few figures to get rid of them, because if anybody's going to need a few new figures when I get that case, I'm just going to offload them and dump them real quick. And then I've got the Venom Wave case, which is the Venom Deadpool. Let's see. So next one we've got the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu, Dragon Ball Z SH figure arts. I know I don't feature this stuff a lot on the channel, just because I never get around to it, but I got him. I have really been looking forward to this guy, and he's kind of late as far as like getting him. But this thing, I'm so happy that we're finally getting these figures. Everything about the Ginyu Force is like Dragon Ball Z. It's so ridiculous and stupid and so over the top and just stupid. So this guy is one I've really been looking forward to. I just didn't wait. I waited to get him just to throw the pile. And he looks so good. I mean, you pick him up again, just look at him. This is definitely going to be one of the first things I take a look at. What's my favorite saga for DBZ? I mean, most people say the Cell Saga usually, right? And I tend to say it's like the transition from the Namek Saga to the Frieza Saga, like not necessarily the entire Namek or the entire Frieza Saga, but basically when the Ginyu Force starts doing their thing up until like Frieza's transformed. Like that moment, that specific slot of time is what I really is what I like. So kind of a mix of both. But I mean, if we're going to go like full saga, I guess it's the Cell Saga just as far as a whole, because there's a lot to enjoy there. Let's see. There were a lot of Bandai stuff in here that I forgot about. And we'll go back to Hasbro real quick. So we got 2 Red Ninjas. They're Red Ninjas. So Wave 2 Red Ninjas. I have 1 and 2, 3, obviously. I have a couple more pre-ordered. I don't really know if I'm going to keep those or not, because I don't know how many I actually needed. Now that I have 3, I feel like I really only need 2, just to have 2 flanking Storm Shadow, because I'm not really sure that this matters. I mean, I've still never seen one in the wild. Nidoran. I've never seen them in the wild. I got one because I got my Amazon pre-order, and then Big Bad Toy Store, they had these in weeks ago, but I don't think they ever had them up for sale. I think they were just up, and they had them for people who had them pre-ordered. I don't remember ever seeing them go in stock. Actually, no. I take that back. They did have them in stock, but you had to buy Wave 2 as a 3-pack through Big Bad Toy Store to get them all. And then they had Cobra Commander and Gung Ho separately. And it doesn't look like my video is ever gonna save itself, is it? Doesn't seem like it wants to work tonight. Which is so weird, because last week it was relatively okay. Let's see. It's like the internet circa 1996 right now. You found a Gung Ho and a Cobra Commander. I found a Gung Ho and a Cobra Commander at a Walgreens as well. I assume that I missed the Red Ninja when I saw them. They had it's the only story in my area that's done a reset that has them, but that's all they had. I left them behind because I didn't need them. I wasn't going to take them from somebody who also might want them. But I've not seen anybody around me should see any Red Ninjas anywhere. Not Target, not Walmart, not Walgreens. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's going on. G.I. Joe, for as fun as these figures are, the line is just such a mess. It's such a mess. So what's next? Let's see. We'll do we'll do Gundam next. So I got a bunch of Gundam figures in. Bunch of Robot Spirit stuff, which nobody watches my channel for this, so I don't really post this stuff very often. We'll say we've got the Dom. This is a new Dom from well, yeah, Beck, you love this stuff, but I don't ever do these because they take so long to review. They really have so many parts. There's like so many damn accessories in these boxes, and it's such a chore to actually do this. So this is stuff that I honestly don't know why I'm getting back into these, because they are expensive, and yeah, that's it. They're expensive. So we've got a Dom, and what is this one? We've got Johnny Raiden's High Mobility Zaku, Kaiju Killer. Am I still buying the Gundam Universe figures? Yeah, I'm still doing the Gundam Universe stuff as well. That line is, quite possibly like one of my favorite current lines, like new lines, just because it's what I've wanted to see back on store shelves for the longest time. Seeing a new affordable Gundam line, because this stuff is incredibly expensive by comparison. Some of them are just ridiculously expensive. So seeing a new Gundam line on store shelves that's pretty cheap was really exciting. And they're not the best figures. they're also far from the worst too. And so far, they're doing a pretty good job. I don't know what's going on with their release schedule, because Wave 3 took forever to come out, and Wave 4 is only 2 figures instead of 3 for some reason. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. And then we've got, I guess this was an exclusive. I don't really even know when this came out. This is it's an event exclusive, the Tamashii Nations Tokyo event. This is Char's Zaku. It comes in like a little smaller format box. Ro V, are you interested in the new Halo figures from Wicked Toys? I did a review of the 7-inch figures like a week or so ago, with the Master Chief and the Mark 7 and the Mark whatever, the white one. I didn't find Kat, and I don't really think I want her either. They're pretty cool. They have their issues, but they're pretty cool. And then we got one more Gundam. So this is the F91 Evolution spec. So they're going back to like redo some of the older figures that they did. So I've really been looking forward to this. Love this movie. So this is like a must-have for me. Am I looking forward to the Super 7 Muckman? Absolutely. Absolutely. That might be my favorite figure in that wave because he's big. He's big. That's pretty much what it is. And he comes with the little buddy. He comes with Joe Eyeball. So he comes with him. And I just like the goofy, weird stuff when it comes to Turtles. So like that aspect of the Playmates line really is one of my favorite things as a kid. And I'm really excited for him. And then like William Tim says, the Mutagen Man. Mutagen Man is definitely up there for me as well. Anything that's goofy and wacky and like what would be considered gross as like for kids is really what I want. What's in my top 10 for figures of 2020 so far? I mean, my top figure of the year has been and likely still will be the Sentinel Toys Ronin Warriors Ryu figure. Rio the Wildfire. That thing is probably my favorite figure of the year. It's about everything I've ever wanted a Ronin Warrior figure to be. But then I don't know. I did a video a couple months back. I'm trying to think what was in there. Spider-Man, Retro Spider-Man is definitely up there just because it's the list is going to be reevaluated because we got all the Super 7 stuff. So like Super Shredder's probably going to be in there from NECA. And then I'm not really sure what for Super 7 I'm going to include. It's probably going to be, I mean, ideally, if I was going to get, as transparent as possible, it would be the Foot Soldier because it's my favorite figure of the wave. As far as Turtles goes from Super 7, I think it's pretty much a perfect Foot Soldier. And then, what else did I have in that list? I can't really remember. I didn't have any Mythic Legions at the time in there, and I don't think I'm going to either. I'm trying to think what else. Count Dooku. I think Count Dooku was in there. Laid Back Ink. You just mentioned that. I think Count Dooku was in there because that face is just tremendous. Yeah, I'm trying. I know I did this list, and now I just cannot for the life of me remember what it is or what was on that list. I did like a different one though. I made it so that I didn't pick multiple things from the same property. So like only one He-Man figure, and it was God Skeletor. So he's likely still going to be on there. Cad Bane might be on there as well. It's going to be hard. I might do like a top 20, top 20 for 2020, because I feel like 10 figures is just not going to do it. I just don't think it's going to do it this year. There's so much stuff that I'll get to 10 and I'll see like 15 others right behind me that'll be like, well, these are just as good. The number one spot I think is probably that I can change because that figure is everything I wanted it to be. But I don't know, I'm trying to look around me right now just to see what it is. Because like I would want to include stuff like movie He-Man because that's such an important figure to me. I don't know if any Thundercats would get on there because they're not new, but at the same time, I'm really happy with the figures, and I'm glad that we got them again. But I don't know if they really constitute it. So I don't know. I feel really stupid because I cannot remember what is on that list. I'm really, really drawing a blank. But like Snake Eyes was on there. Snake Eyes was on there. Toka and Razar, there's a good chance that they are going to be up there. I mean, if they are as good as they look, they could probably be in the top 2 or 3. Thousand Wolves, NECA versus Super 7. I try not to compare them too much. It really comes down to what you like. I unfortunately, for better or worse, I mean, I like all of it. So, like, I love the cartoon. The movie is, on any given day, probably my favorite movie, period. Like, not just as a toy line, but favorite movie. I could watch the Turtles movie every day and never grow tired of it, I think. And NECA just killed that. But the Super 7 Turtles do something for me on, like, an emotional level almost. It's literally like being a kid again. And I have such a fondness for those Playmates figures that they do something for me. And then even the video game line, I mean, even these are really good figures. These are a lot more specific. And I know they're not for everybody, but even those are something that I'm really happy with. But like if I had to pick, and I said this earlier, if I had to pick, it would be Super 7 for me. If I had to pick, if the gun to my head, it would be Super 7. And it's specifically for the nostalgia thing. It's just because of that. Ant Toy Boy, best place to get SH Figure Arts DBZ. It depends. You have to, some of it now you have to get through Premium Bandai, but then the rest you could get on Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, Entertainment Earth. You can get some of them at Target. They carry Goku figures. What's the rat guy's name Super 7 is coming out with? The rat guy? Super 7 hasn't revealed Rat King yet, have they? NECA did. NECA's got Rat King coming, but Super 7 hasn't revealed him yet. Right? Is that what you're talking about? It's NECA. He's coming with, is he coming with Vern? He's coming with Vern, right? Super 7 is great because you can actually purchase their figures. That is something to take into consideration. I say that as someone who is sitting in front of 3 rather hard to get figures right now from NECA, but yeah, I mean that plays a big role. They're of course a lot more expensive too. Let's jump back in here for a second. There's actually not a great deal more stuff in here. I kind of steamrolled through some of this. Yeah, I just got the Goku SHF from Target. Which one did you get? Did you get the regular one or the KO Ken one? Rovi, am I getting the Razor Crest Vintage Collection HasLab? I am still undecided on that. I'm still undecided about that. I want it. I talked about this last week. I'm still surprised that it was the thing that they chose. It to me, it doesn't scream like must-have vehicle. And you don't really, it doesn't do hardly anything in the show. I don't consider it an iconic vehicle either. I do think it looks really, really cool. So I was just kind of surprised, and I'm on the fence because I just ordered Sentinels, and do I really need to buy more? If I don't, I'm going to bite myself in the ass basically for not getting it. So I don't know. I say that I'll probably get it. You saw both SHF Goku. Yeah, they should have both. Target should have both if they're kind of keeping up with their stock. They stock both. They're like the same SKU, but they have both of them. You stick with the Lego Razor Crest. I can't get into Lego either. That's a slippery slope. My wife and I did that before the kid was born. We started doing Lego, and we slid into, I don't even know what to describe it. It was just weird. Every day was Lego for us. Like we were going to the Lego store whenever we were out of town, and then I got UCS sets, and I was going hunting for sets all the time. It was nuts. I liked it though. Am I getting the Diamond Select Boba Fett? I am not. I'm not sure yet. I was trying to see if Diamond was able to send me a sample for a review because I don't ever find myself in a Disney store. So I don't know. I don't buy Marvel Select, so I don't really know that I care about Star Wars Select, just because I don't need that. I don't need it in that scale. I have no reason to scale a 7-inch Boba Fett with anything. His effects look cool. From what I've seen so far, I don't have. There's nothing about it that like jumps out and says I have to have it. If that makes it any sense. If that makes it clear. Thoughts on NECA Defenders of the Earth? They are clearly built on the bodies that we got with the DC figures, so the Batman and the Superman and the Green Lantern, and I really, really like those. So we will see. I don't have much attachment to Defenders of the Earth. Like I watch the cartoon and I'm familiar with it, but like I don't care. It really comes down to, is it going to be a pain in the ass to find them once they hit stores? Then we'll see. Because I'm really curious. Like I would like to see NECA make more superhero stuff, but we know they really can only do so much. They obviously can't do Marvel. They're never going to get DC access again at this point. And the only other thing they've got is The Boys, and I don't care about The Boys figures at all. I like the show, but I have zero interest in the figures unless they look amazing. We'll see. But yeah, do I have any concerns with the hip pegs on Super 7 foot soldiers? Not really. No. I know people have had issues with them. I mean, we'll see. I've got 3 to open, but the 2 that I've got loose so far are fine. They stand up fine. They don't really do anything weird. They don't fall over. I do know that the pegs do seem a little different for most figures, though. Like they certainly don't seem normal. It's just something different about their construction, but they're okay. I have not had any cause to be worried. If that makes sense. What about Marvel Select Rampaging Hulk? I'm curious about that one. Yeah, I'm curious. He looks cool. He's big. And that's the thing that has going for it. It's big. It's going to be bigger than all the other Marvel Legends Hulks, so it might scale a little better. But at the same time, like I don't usually like dip my toe into Marvel Selects. I have paid for one. I bought Colossus years ago, and he's still a great figure because there was no classic style Colossus. I haven't really replaced that figure. I mean, I have the Marvel Legends one now, but I didn't necessarily remove him because I really like that one. But I don't really pick and choose selects all that often. Am I looking forward to Mattel's new 7-inch He-Man? Oh, the what are they calling it? Masters of the Universe something? I don't know. I'm interested. I mean, there's nothing that they can do that's going to top classics for me. So I don't think that I'm going to be like blown away by it. I like Origins because they're fun and they're cheap. Well, they're relatively cheap. But Classics is such a big toy line for me that I don't know that anything they do. Yeah, it's like Masters of the Multiverse or something like that. I don't know that it's going to be anything that I truly care about. I'm definitely going to get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to get them. But it's not like something that's I'm hedging any bets on. I don't think I'm going to take my Classics collection down and replace it with these, because if there's one thing I can pretty much count on, it's that Mattel is going to screw it up somehow, because I don't trust them with collector lines anymore, because they've shown for the past few years that they have no idea what they're doing. And Motu Origins doesn't count because that is a child's line. Say what you will about it, it is geared towards children. And that's fine because it's doing great. Let's see, Toy Bro, do your wallets have that Star Wars display palette? Not yet, not that I've seen. I don't hit very many Walmarts because my neighborhood is kind of in a Walmart dead zone. There used to be one literally right outside the neighborhood, and it was so shitty that they closed it. So they got rid of that one, and now the closest one it's like 15 or 20 minutes away, and then the other one's about 15 or 20 minutes away, and to hit both of them, it's like an hour, basically. And I do not have an hour every day to go hunting. My wife checked one today. They didn't have anything. So I don't believe we've gotten them yet. Let's see. What about, somebody asked about Mcfarland Deathstroke. Honestly, I can't tell you that I know what it looks like because I'm not sure I've paid much attention. I don't pay a lot of attention to McFarlane DC stuff. That's really it. Like a lot of it, it comes across, like my social feed, and I'll see it, I'll glance at it, and I'll kind of move on. Deathstroke is not a character that I care about, so I'm not really sure. If I see it in a store and he looks cool, that's all it takes, though. That's why I have the Hellbat and Superman Unchained. I don't know anything about them, but they look cool, so I bought them. We're going to do a big one real quick, and then we'll... we'll move on to I'll keep answering questions. So I got this too, and I know I've already reviewed this, but I paid for it a long time ago, and you had to put a deposit down, and I guess you can't cancel deposit orders at Big Bad Toy Store. So now I have two. So I've got two of these, which is awesome because I can just let this sit for a while and do something with it later. I've got one to open and one to keep sealed, which I don't ever do with figure arts, but now I'm going to do it. But this thing is freaking awesome anyway, so it's kind of fun to have a sealed one, I guess. But yeah, that thing is this thing, I don't know, could potentially be on my top 10 of the year because I love everything about it. It's kind of cumbersome and weird to deal with at times, but it's an awesome figure. I think that's the last Bandai thing I've got. See, the only thing you have is the Zombie Spider-Man. The only Marvel Select. Your Walmart has no NECA section. That's kind of normal, really. Only certain Walmarts have NECA sections. It's most, but there are a select few that do not for one reason or other. I know one store around me does not have one. It's like they've never existed. Clone Wars Black Series are starting to hit the Western U.S. Yeah, I've been seeing more and more. A bunch of people in Texas got them today, apparently. So I've definitely been on the lookout. I mean, I've got them on pre-order, but just like everybody else, all of mine got pushed back to like Thanksgiving. And I got November release dates now. So, I mean, I'm really hopeful that I'm going to get those. But yeah, but did I get the Sentinel? Yeah, I got 3 of them. And I don't know. I waited until the very last day to do it because I wasn't sure I was even going to get one. And that sounds stupid because I know that I wanted it from the get-go, but I wasn't sure that I was going to actually get one just because I didn't know what to do with it. And my wife basically said that if you don't get whatever you're going to get, you're going to regret it. And you're not going to be able to get it later because there's no chance in hell I'm going to pay aftermarket for a Sentinel. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll sell one and pay for the 2. I don't really think I'm going to do that. I fully expect to just rip all 3 of them open and do like a master mold, and then one of 2 regular ones in a master mold, and then I've got other smaller Sentinels, like the ones from the Days of Future Past 2-pack, the one that had Wolverine in it. So yeah, I mean, she's the reason I got the barge too. She told me to get it or I would regret it, and I mean, I would have regretted it because it's an amazing toy. But it's also crazy to drop that kind of money on a toy. I say that, and I bought Snake Mountain as well, so it is what it is. Thankfully, though, the Sentinel should be relatively easy to display. It's not like the barge where it's a 4-foot long thing. You know, it takes up a lot of shelf space. The Sentinel is going to have a really small footprint. It's just going to be tall, so I can easily display that. I mean, it could go on the floor and probably just be fine around other figures until I figure out something to do with it. I am curious what kind of a box it's going to come in, though. I kind of suspect that it's going to come in some fancy-ass box that I'll probably want to keep sealed. And I don't know. Who the hell does that? So I moved something around. What's the most money I spent on a figure? Andrew. Trying to think. I mean, the most money I've spent on a toy is the barge. The most money I've spent on a figure. I mean, the Sentinel would probably be it. $350 for one. But I mean, not counting. I mean, for a special like that, I don't have a ton of stuff that I would say I've spent a lot of money on individually. I did spend like $200 on a Mezco Space Ghost. But I sold stuff to compensate for that. So like I just, it was more of a trade than anything else. I got rid of a couple of things and then I just used that money to buy the Space Ghost. I mean, like a vintage Thundercat here and there. I paid like $125 for a Jaga a couple years ago. Or the Sentinel Toys Ronin Warriors figure was like $150 new. But I don't buy hot toys, so I don't have that level of toy to deal with. I mean, That thing right there was $300 some. That big guy, and the 1/6 scale Motu stuff is pretty expensive. They range from they were like 120, but now I think the last one was like 180. So they're getting expensive. DR 5000. What do I do for a living? I work for a software company, healthcare software. The exciting world of healthcare software. Does the Sentinel have battle parts? It has battle damage head, right? I say that like I shouldn't know. Battle damage head and battle damage hand, something like that. Have I ever overpaid to get something early for review? Yes, I have. Not too many times, but I only do it when I think that the money will be recouped in from the channel. So like the first thing I ever bought early to get paid extra bought to get it early was the Toy Fair Snake Eyes, because that dude on Mercari had them, and I paid double. I paid $80 for it, but I made all that money back from the channel, so it just sort of washed. I bought the Retro Spider-Man wave early, and I bought a couple of Ghostbusters early. I regret that. That was a bad decision because those were not worth it. They were fine as far as money, but I don't do it all. I stopped doing it mostly because other folks were doing it. Like Jay Hernandez was also doing it. I clued him into a lot of those. That's how he started to get some. He was getting them from the same guy. And then E. Rivera has whatever weird contact he has. I swear it's the same guy that was selling them on Mercari. I swear it's the same guy, but that's for a different day. But he gets everything early somehow, and it wasn't worth it anymore. He would soak up all the views, and then I wouldn't have to. It wouldn't matter. Let's see. When is the collection tour coming? I talked about this last week. I say it's coming, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it's ever coming. I find it very, very hard to organize the room or rooms. It's 2 rooms. It's basically our entire basement right now, just for lack of time. Because I use so many different figures in videos, or when I'm taking the pictures for the end of the video, so it's not just that one figure. So I'm constantly taking stuff down, I'm constantly putting stuff back up, and it's like a living, breathing thing, and so it's never static, and it's not ever really presentable. Like I like to look at it myself. I don't know that I want other people to see it. Like people would probably not like to see my collection in the way it is, if that makes any sense. I need to take a week off to organize and then do it. That would help. And to not have a toddler for that week would be good. So if anybody wants to babysit while I organize the toys, then yeah. But it is 2 toy rooms. It's our basement living room, and there is another bedroom down here that was originally going to be the toy room. That's the room. The other room is the room that I do all the videos in. Is there any 3 figures on my wish list that I want or to have made? Ooh. I don't. That's a tough question to ask to answer. Honestly, man, that's a tough question. There are some things that I would like to go back and get. I mean, I always come back to one specific thing, and it's always going to be just to be quick and done, a mint sealed vintage Lion-O figure. That's all I want. That would be like the crowning jewel for a collection for me, just to have a pristine vintage Thundercat figure. Hey, it's no longer 1998 webcam. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I apologize for all the quality problems. I need to. It's likely more my network than the webcam. The webcam's relatively fine, but I'm very far away as far as the location goes. Very far away from the access point in the house. So I need to start upgrading. It's been a while. Let's see. What is that? What is my favorite figure from the past year? Ronin Warrior Ryu figure, or Rio of the Wildfire from Sentinel Toys. What are some tips for not going broke with this hobby? Don't have this hobby. Just don't do it. But that's true for everything, though. I mean, you either do it and you can figure out a way to either help the hobby pay for itself or just learn to throttle what you like. The problem I have is that I like way too much stuff. I mean, when you think about like the stuff that I cover on the channel, I cover everything but Transformers basically. So yeah, I mean, it's either be able to afford it or don't do it. If that sounds good. You want a badass articulated war dude. That would be really cool. And that's something that I was really hoping that the D&D line would be from Hasbro. And it's not anything like I thought it was going to be. It makes sense that it is what it is, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. What collecting rules do you have for yourself, if any? I mean, my collecting rules are just don't go into debt for it. I've collected plenty of things over the years, and one of those things was debt because of a collection, and I'm never going to do that again. So it's just be mindful of what you're doing, where you're getting it from, and if you can help the hobby pay for itself. This channel helps pay for my hobby. It doesn't pay for it, and it certainly doesn't pay me after I pay for the hobby. But it's this is one way that I interact, but then I also get some back because of the whole ad revenue thing. Mezco TMNT. I'm glad somebody asked about that. I don't know what to think about that. I really don't know what to think about that. I struggle to wonder what they're gonna do that we haven't gotten in the past 4 years, or what we're not already getting now. The thing that jumps out to me is that they're either going to be, stuff that I don't care, but I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It just seems. William Timms Mezco put out a little post on social media the other day when they were wrapping up their little New York Comic-Con thing, and it had a turtle hand coming out of a manhole cover reaching for a piece of pizza. So it's either they're just playing around, but that doesn't make sense. Obviously, that doesn't make sense that that's what they're doing. They're obviously hinting at something, and I don't think it's going to be 5 points because Super 7 already does reaction. There's not room for 2 5 POA turtle lines. There just isn't. No way. But the thing that sticks out the most to me is that Mezco would do movie turtle. But what are they going to do that NECA hasn't already done? There's that really needs soft goods, bandanas, and like their leather goods. But what could they really do without Mezcoizing them? They all take their spin on things when it comes to doing like Marvel and DC. I don't know that I need versions of Turtles that never existed before. I don't need Mezco's take on TMNT. I don't need that. Now, if they're movie figures, I don't understand why they would do that either, because we just got NECAs, and NECA is literally still releasing them. So it doesn't make sense that it's that. It's not going to be Playmate stuff. There's no way that they're going to release the same thing that Super 7's releasing in tandem. So I'm really curious what's going on. My first thought is that it's a different era of Turtles. I mean, is that possible? Maybe. I just don't know. I don't know if the demand is there. I know a lot of people want 2003 Turtle stuff. I would love that. I would like 2012 Turtle stuff because I really like that show. But I don't know if there's demand for that from a Mezco perspective. So I don't really know what they could do. Like, it's like we literally have everything we've ever possibly could have wanted from Turtles right now, and then there's a chance that another company is going to do more. What are they going to do? It just doesn't really add up, and I can't think of anything that they would do because we don't need soft goods Turtles. So, but yeah, I mean, if they did a different era, if they were able to focus not on the original stuff, not on the 80s, 90s, but on the 2000 and beyond, that's a different story. So that would be really cool. But I don't know. I mean, they could always, like, I just don't know that they could even change articulation that much because they're still big, bulky turtles. They're not little ninja bugmen or anything like that. So I don't know. Yeah. If I had to pick, it would be 2012 for me. because again, I just really like that show. But I would still be on board for 2003 because those designs are still very classic turtley, but at the same time, they're still their own thing. I still don't know how they would do those though. They're not going to be soft goods because they're naked. They're just in their skin. So I guess it would be more along the lines of what they're doing for like Conan and the Death Dealer, where they are like more like Storm collectibles kind of figures. That would make more sense to me because they're not going to be covered in a suit. And the only turtles that were ever covered in suits, NECA just did in the SDCC pack. So, yeah, Mezco Turtles is a big point of confusion right now, I guess, right? It's kind of a point of confusion. I'm really curious what they're going to do, but I can't begin to understand what it's actually going to end up being. What do I collect mint on card? Not a lot. Not a lot. Like, I mean, I showed these off earlier, but like, you know, this kind of stuff. You know, I the carded Black Series figures, I usually get one to open if I need to open it. You know, like when they do repacks, I don't buy a repack and open it, but I'll get a carded version and I'll keep on carded. Some Super 7 reaction figures, like there's a couple back here. You know, I've got some vintage carded turtles, a handful. I don't go too deep into that because it's a slippery slope that you can't recover from because they get exponentially more expensive, of course. But not a lot of stuff. And then I do keep some boxes for more expensive figures that, you know, if I need to sell stuff down the road, I've got a box for this expensive toy, things like that. Venus de Milo Mezco. I do not. I'm going to go on record and say I do not want that. Would I buy it if it was part of a set? Maybe, but I do not want it. Will we be seeing the return of Build-A-Figure ranking at the end of this year? Yeah, because I think I've gotten every Build-A-Figure this year, right? Because there's been no movie Build-A-Figure, right? So yeah, when I do my top 10 Marvel Legends, I'll do a ranking because there's been a lot of good Build-A-Figures this year. Strong guys up there. Even like Crimson Dynamo was really good. Okay, let's get back to this box real quick. Joe Fixit is probably there's a good chance he might be like at the bottom of my list because he's that Gamerverse. I still don't have him yet, so I can't say for certain. I've got the old Toy Biz Joe Fixit. I need to find his hat for that video. I don't know what I did with it, but I've got the figure. It's around here somewhere. But that figure, he doesn't look all that great to me, so I'm not too sure. He looks fine, but he doesn't look great. So we'll see. Let's get back to this box. There's not a ton more stuff in here, and then if anybody wants to do their guesses, now then that will be the time. So let's switch gears. We'll do Mythic Legions. There are a few Mythic Legions in here. It's not going to be anything groundbreaking. There's not anything in this box from like the Exodus sale they did. There are some good figures. As I said on last week's, when someone asked that I couldn't take part in that Exodus sale that Mythic Legions did because I was at a bachelor party out of town and I had no cell signal. I was in a cabin in the middle of the woods, and I was likely quite inebriated anyway. So there are 5 Mythic Legions in here. If anybody's still keeping count, I've got a Templar. These guys are different. They have different paint applications on them from the first figure. So I've got an older one that I don't know. He's in a box somewhere. But I've got this guy, and then I'm literally surrounded by toys right now. Brother Mandibulus. There's nothing here that I don't already have, but there are some things that we were on a 32-acre estate that we rented a house on. So we were just way out in the middle of nowhere. We just sort of abandoned ourselves for a weekend to basically get drunk all day. So Brother Mandibulus and a Fury Orc. I needed another one of those. And another Kauros, so I can have a couple of the Tiger Stripe Orcs. I think I've got 2 more of these. I hope so. I hope I counted correctly. I have a Kauros and then 2 Orcs, and then another Templar. So nothing, like I said, nothing crazy. I mean, some of these are obviously like kind of heavy hitters. I mean, like this for the longest time was, what, $100 and some odd figure. Brother Mandibulus is still really expensive, and I just wanted to get a couple more. So I'm really happy with those, just to get a few more, because for the longest time I only had one. This is going to round out the. This is rounding out the box. So this is the last thing. So I got this, the Playmates SDCC 6-figure pack. I did not get this for myself. This is, well, I mean, it's for me for now. This is for the kiddo, so she can have a set of vintage turtles. So we opened this earlier. So you got like vintage carded turtles on the inside. And I think this is kind of cool. Raphael is, I think, still a little too light skinned for this, but I think they did a pretty good job. I really like the box. I mean, that's really what it came down to. The box on this is still pretty cool. I don't like the slipcover because it's really like, I don't know, this just seems like a shipper thing with the item number on it. It looks really weird and basic, but it's limited to 5,000 pieces, so it's rare. But the box, I think, is a really cool idea. So yeah, you've got the 4 turtles and Splinter and Shredder, because the kiddo is very much into turtles right now. It's her thing. We watch turtles every night before we go to bed, or she goes to bed rather, and she has her own set of turtles now, or one day when I can trust her to not rip these off the cards right away, because I don't want her to ruin them yet. She can play with some of my extras for now. But I think it was a cool idea. I still think, though, if I had to wager a guess, this thing was made by Playmates specifically only for them to make it known that they still have the license. I bet this was made as some sort of contractual obligation on their part to let who is it? The Viacom and Nickelodeon know that they still do have a stake in this, because all of their stuff recently has failed. I'm pretty sure this is not their attempt to get back into the market. It's just their attempt to keep a hold on their license. I should check out the Merciless Bath from Mcfarland. I am pretty interested in that, actually. It looks cool. I don't know anything about that. Like I've said before, I don't DC stuff. I'm neither here nor there for the most part when it comes to DC, but it looks cool. Looks cool. I don't know about that entire wave though. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the one with that like the Joker Robin or whatever it is, the little like impish looking Robin, whatever he is. Some of those figures don't really do it for me. So I'm not sure if I'll even get that build figure. We'll see. I'm gonna check. You hope Playmates loses the license. I think about that from time to time, and I wonder what they would ever do, because, well, there's NECA in action right there. Classic NECA toys. We're gonna put him down. He didn't break. Go on record. Triceraton fell, did not break. I'm curious if Playmates lost the license or gave it up or whatever they did with Turtles, how it would be handled, because I would think that it's I would assume or hope that it would be like DC, where a child-based company like Spin Master gets the license for kids, and then the adult license can be handled elsewhere. But I also worry that Turtle is so very kid-focused when it comes to media that there would need to be a master license holder like Playmates is now. And it can't be NECA, because if they have to be a master license holder, that means they would have to do product for new stuff. And they're not going to do that. He is okay. He's okay. He landed on something soft, so he's okay. I don't know. This is the first time a single one of them fell, so of course it happened while it was on camera. But he's fine. He's fine. I'm going to look at Instagram real quick, because I know there were some folks that I asked for questions on Instagram. I want to see if anybody, I want to see what they said. I didn't really look at them until now, just to check and see what folks were asking earlier. So here's one. What is my standing on the new Gomez figure? That went up for pre-order last week. So the Gomez figure, the Hazard Squad Gomez, I pre-ordered it. And honestly, I'm not really sure why. It was kind of just, I want more Gomez figures. because I don't really have a lot. But at the same time, that one is kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth. So we'll see. I'm not too sure if it's something I'm going to hang on to or not. I think it's kind of cool, but at the same time, I am very much, for someone who is only recently getting into Mezco stuff, like within the past 6 months, I'm very much already over their nonsense of cramming as much stupid stuff into a box as possible to inflate the price of the toy. I don't care that it's a convention thing. I don't care that the con didn't happen. I would just rather be able to buy the figure. What's up, Kyle? That Megazord that everybody has asked about tonight is the X Plus Gigantic Series Megazord. It's like a big vinyl statue with moving arms and head, basically. It's like 16 inches tall. It's like the most accurate depiction of the Megazord in toy form. I need to figure out how to stop comments from getting held. Kaiju Killer, that DC Superman Heat Vision accessory is the it's the laser eyes from Homelander from The Boys. It's not Superman. Most accurate depiction for now. I'm going to hold you to that, Kyle. For anybody that doesn't know, Kyle in the chat right now works for Super 7. Don't bombard him with questions or anything, but let's see. Someone asked if this box was Snake Mountain. Obviously, this box is not Snake Mountain. One of the reasons I skip on the Gomez and the bundle stuff, Ultraman Gomez? They're doing an Ultraman Gomez? Is there one of those? I don't keep track of Mezco stuff enough to know what the hell they're doing anymore. So like they're like those 4 guys that they showed. Was it 4? No, it's 3 guys that they showed in that little trailer for Hazard Squad Gomez. Are they going to be figures? They showed Ultraman Go. Oh man, that'll be which comic was it in? I say that like I have access to their comics. The only comic I have from Mezco is the one that came with Bear and Ben. So I don't know anything about those. But that sounds dangerous, man. I don't know about that. That sounds dangerous. Because they did show an Ultraman 5 points, didn't they? So we knew they had the license, but I kind of figured that they'll do that. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would get that. Am I getting the Mezco Popeye and Bluto? I'm not. I'm not getting that. I think they're cool, but it's a little bit outside of things that I really want to spend my money on. When it comes to Mezco stuff, like some of their in-house stuff, and then really just their in-house stuff. And then if they could get back on the Space Ghost train and do Hanna-Barbera stuff again, I would be on board for that. Also, they showed Ultraman Gomez a long time ago. Okay. What are some good sites to pre-order figures from? I mean, you take your pick, really. Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, Dorkside. The big 3 are Dorkside, Big Bad Toy Store, and Entertainment Earth. Did I get the Voltron 84 Classics? The Playmates stuff? You mean the Playmates figures? I did get those, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, but there's plenty of other places that you can get your toys from. I mean, there's plenty of sells directly, NECA sells directly, Mezco sells directly. Just depends on what you want, really. So we reached the end of the box. Does anybody have specific guesses on how much it weighed? I am curious. For anybody that wants this, Cobra Commander, he's yours. If Donatello is not the best of the turtles, no. some close ones. 75 pounds is way too high. That would be impressive, though. You did not save the best for last. The best turtle is in wave 2. Some very close guesses so far. NECA still hasn't shipped your Super Shredder. If it was a pre-order one, that's why. It's still got a little while to go. So far, somebody is 0.3 pounds off. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. I do need to figure out who that was, though. There we go. Okay. $8675309 is definitely not the weight. You guys are just spamming guess. I'm going to try to scroll through this chat and find it. It'd be too easy if there weren't specifics. Everybody could say like 35 pounds and try to get it. Let me run through this real quick. We're going to shut it down and find who said it first. A lot of this weight was in Super 7 product. Super 7 product and that big-ass figure arts back there. Andy Davis said it first. $34.90 per the FedEx shipping manifest. My scale doesn't do big numbers that correctly, so I'm going by that. So, Andy, we will talk. So, I will do. I might do more of this kind of giveaway stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't want to like advertise a bunch of giveaway stuff because then that invites a bunch of people that don't normally watch the channel to come try to get something for free. So, but I'm going to try to do more just to kind of give something back a little bit. So Andy, we'll talk about Cobra Commander. Now, if you guys have questions, I've got a little bit more time to hang out for a little bit. And if you guys want to talk about questions or anything, or we can call it quits. You just want to talk about toys, man. That's all I want to talk about. Okay, let me see who said it. Let me see who said it second, because there was a second one. I didn't know if you had him or not. I thought you might have already had him, though. Mama said pop you out had its second. Talk about the huge Cthulhu. Let me grab him. Hang on. Let me see what I knock over. Who doesn't have this damn Cobra Commander that wants it? Let's see. Let me go to the next one. Jeremy Mills. Jeremy Mills had the closest guess before I gave the hint. And then he had the exact. Jeremy, message me on Instagram, dude. If you don't follow me already, there's a link in the description on any video. Okay, so here is this Cthulhu that everybody's asked about. So this guy is like he's like 15 inches tall, and he's actually broken. I knocked him off a shelf years ago, and one of these wings does not stay in correctly, so it's actually glued in there. There was a glow in the dark version too that I think was Entertainment Earth exclusive, but he's really basic. He's really basic. So the wings don't move; they actually kind of lock into place when you move. So his head swivels, his arms move, and he's got moving wrists, and then he's got swiveling legs. But he really only just stands up. That's all it does. He just sort of stands and looks, ghoulish. But it's really cool. I mean, it's a really cool figure. And well, here, let's grab this too. Oh shit. We might as well talk about this thing too, since everybody's asked. He's kind of dusty. So this is the Megazord that everybody asked about. I've had him in a video once. There's like a video I did years ago where I just talked about shit that I actually like, not anything that needed to be reviewed. But he just swivels at the arms, and then it actually comes with a stand, so the arm and the shield don't sag over time because this thing's kind of heavy. It's like a hard plastic compared to it being vinyl. And then he's got swappable hands. So he's got gripping hands, and then he's got closed fists. But that's it. Like the legs don't do anything. The head doesn't do anything. Nothing. It is really just a statue, but it is absolutely beautiful. So this is like one of my crown jewels. If I have anything that's like a big thing for me in my collection, this is it, because it literally, like Patimus Prime just says, it looks like a guy in a suit. It's literally the suit made into plastic or vinyl. But it's really, really cool. Triceraton thoughts initially, Knight of Ren. I mean, I did a review on them. They're pretty awesome. The pack is amazing. The only real negative about them at all is that the tails aren't accurate. Simply put, they aren't accurate. And I kind of touched on that in the video. Roadkill Rodneys they're in a different room at the moment. But the tails aren't accurate because they reuse from Leatherhead, who reuses from the video game Leatherhead. And the video game Leatherhead has a spiked tail, and he was made years ago before any of this ever really kicked off. Like before it ever really got going, the Leatherhead was made first, so they reused his tail. And Leatherhead in the cartoon does not have spikes. Triceratons in this cartoon don't have spikes either. So unfortunately, he's basically Leatherhead. He's even got kind of like wrinkles in his legs. So did NECA ever come back with an updated time? They didn't. They said later in the week, and they would let us know. So they don't even know. They are not the one. Apparently, they aren't the ones doing it. So I'm not really sure. Did they make a Dragonzord like the Megazord? No, it's that. They never did anything else except for the Megazord. I don't know that it sold super well. Like it was a made-to-order pre-order thing, and it got its threshold, but I don't think it did all that great because it was expensive. So I'm not really sure, but they never made any more than that in that line. Am I going to get the Bebop and Rocksteady? Yeah, I did get the 3 crate thing, so I'll get them whenever they come out. And we're still waiting on that shocked turtle, which I don't know how that thing's going to work. I don't know how I'm going to display that thing. He's supposed to be displayed with that crazy head and like in a goofy pose, so I'm not really sure what's going to go on there. Oh yeah, you did have the sickness, didn't you? I saw your Instagram post. That's a valid reason for not keeping up with anything, dude. I'm glad you are better enough that you can be here tonight. Did NECA ever come back with? Oh, did I already read that? The only other negative about the line is them being Target exclusive. Yeah, I mean I really lucked out with this, honestly. So um, I'm gonna anything that I find going forward, I'm just gonna grab and help other people get them if they need them. My store had went from a wasteland to being like the promised land in about a month. It was really weird. NECA even said they might need to change up the rest of the schedule. I hadn't seen that, but I could see that. I could see them saying that though. If this one, I mean, Dragon Granitor were 3 days late, and then these are already 4 days late at this point. So I don't know what's going on there. We'll see. Am I interested in the Jaws figures? I'm not, and they canceled most of that, didn't they? Didn't something happen with the licenses? I know they sent a list out to the retailers or the resellers that they couldn't fulfill them, so those were canceled. Bandai model kit robots, like Gundam models. Is that what you're talking about? Kaiju Kill, have I seen any Bandai model kit robots? Gundam models, if you're talking about those, yeah, definitely. But even as far as like the Jaws shark, I don't know if I'd buy it. I'd have to see it to know because it's not a thing I really care about. Um, that's about it. I don't really care about it. But hopefully, yeah, the Splinter pack is going to be one that people are going to hit hard. And then I don't. These are going to get hit hard because they're army builders. So they are their own problem to begin with. But Randy said that they supposedly should have more available, just because they've tried to talk with Target about this to get the order up. So it just comes down to how many we get. But I've seen more and more stores get them. My store had 3, and then I've seen stores with 5 and 6 so far. So it just depends. And some stores are limiting them, and some stores are not. But it kind of depends on how you got them. My store is notorious for scalpers, and I know some of them. Like I know who they are by sight. I know when I'm in the store to see who's there, which is unfortunate. The flaming sword. All of the best 2020 toys have flaming swords. Who else has a flaming sword? I mean, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Azrael. Who else has a flaming sword? What other toy guys do I watch on YouTube? I don't watch a lot, honestly. It's mostly because I try to watch what stuff that I'll watch is like when I'm working. I have something in the background. But I mean, I watch some of Jay Hernandez's stuff. Obviously, he and I are buddies. I watch Unparalleled Universe. I watch The Amazing stuff when he puts stuff out. I watch Pixel Dan on the off chance that he does videos. His schedule's been kind of crazy lately. I watch 86 reviews for anything Dragon Ball figure arts related. There's a guy that I watch for Gundam stuff. His channel's name is UCRD Reviews. He does all the Robot Spirit stuff. He gets them. He gets them from Japan, so he gets them before I get them, and he does a great job. He's very thorough, and he knows a shit ton more than I do about Gundam. So I watch his stuff for that. Um, but I don't watch tons and tons and tons. It's mostly because I don't really have a lot of time to watch videos, and I try not to watch video. I try not to watch reviews of things that I plan to review and I haven't reviewed yet. I'll watch Anthony's customs sometimes if I'm curious what he thinks about stuff from like a technical perspective. I will watch him because I feel like he can be incredibly negative a lot, but at the same time, I do understand that he knows what he's talking about from an engineering perspective. So I can appreciate his viewpoint as well. I don't watch Artemis all that much, if ever really. He's probably he's probably the big one that I don't really watch, and I'm not really sure why. 30-minute missions. I'm familiar with them, but I have not bought them. I don't think I have any interest in them either. I saw them at one of my local stores like a month or so ago, and they look cool, but it was something that I didn't really do. If I'm going to do a kit, it's going to be a Gundam model. But yeah, I don't watch tons and tons of reviews. I'm trying to think if there's any other smaller channels. Electrified Porcupine. He doesn't do a whole lot anymore, but I watched his stuff quite a bit. I'm trying to think of other small channels that I frequent. It's mostly a lot of the stuff that you guys probably already watch. Honestly, I'm not sure that I would say I run with a certain group of YouTubers, but there's a few that I do hang with virtually. Dorclair, that'd be another one. I like his background. He's able to get that super black background somehow. The 3.75-inch Halo figures, I saw them. I saw them, and I don't have any intent to buy them because I don't need any more 3 3/4 inch stuff. It's going to be Star Wars, really. That's it for me. But they look cool, and the Warthog looks really cool. Cincy Nerd, yeah, I don't know why I would forget him. Yeah, Cincy Nerd, I've met him a couple times too when he used to be around here, because I'm close to Cincinnati, but I met him out in PowerCon last year too. Josh Pence, I don't watch a lot of his stuff because it's mostly like toy hunting, and that's not something I usually watch. But he's a nice guy. I've met him as well. Just kind of depends on what it is. But I mean, like I watch Retro Blasting and Toy Galaxy. I mean, and I like Dan. I would consider Dan a friend. Aside from Wolverine, will I be getting any more Fox X-Men stuff? I have Cable, and I have Domino, and I have the Deadpool set, and that's it. I had Mystique, and I returned her because I didn't want her, and I had the Professor X and Magneto set, and I returned it as well because when I had it in hand, I just didn't think it was good. Review Spot, yeah, they do so much stuff. Like they constantly churn out content. It's crazy. Oh yeah, and Robo. I take Robo for granted because he's such a focal point when it comes to YouTube stuff. But yes, of course, Robo. Yeah. What do you think of the odds are we'll get the Sazabi in Gundam Universe? I mean, I could see it maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go that big or if they'd have to do something that's maybe more of a deluxe thing because it's not a normal sized suit. It would have to be bigger. I know a lot of the figures are basically the same size right now, but I don't know if that would work for that one. I feel like it'd have to be like a deluxe, like a $35 figure or something. Yes, the Fuchsia's interview with Randy was pretty fantastic and pretty telling too. They are. I mean, he essentially told us in so many words that we're getting a turtle van and we're getting a playset, which I assume is going to be the lair. And he talked about that obviously. But I was very happy with everything that they talked about in the interview. From I mean, even the Gremlins stuff. It's just a matter of time. Did I get the Attack of the Clones 3-pack vintage collection? What 3-pack is that? Am I missing one? Oh, five, the Clone Wars ones. The Fives and Echo and Jesse. Yeah, I got that. The one from Pulse. Yes. Yeah, but the NECA stuff is going to be nuts. Like I hope it'll have to be a pre-order thing. Like it's going to be a pre-order for sure. There's no way that thing's going to end up at Target because it's going to be over $100, no doubt. I'd wager it'll be 150, 100, 125, 150. I mean, if they get into a situation where they put that at Target and it's impossible to get, people will just lose their collective shits again. For the movie April, I am very, very excited for it. I am at the same time concerned because their recent female figures have not been all that great. Like the Ripley that they did in the 40th anniversary Alien line is okay, but there's something weird about her expression and the likeness. The recent Laurie Strode that they just released for Halloween, she looks really rough. But I'm confident the fact that Judith Hogue is going to be involved in the process from like beginning to end, that she's not going to let them screw it up, hopefully. So we'll see. I met her a couple years ago. She was really cool. I got her to sign a print of the drawing that April does of Leo in the movie as herself and as April O'Neil. But she was really, really awesome. Did I watch The Boys? Yeah, I watched The Boys. We watched the whole thing. So we watched it as it came out. So I finished it a couple weeks ago. I really like it. But I read a lot of that comic too, so I was already pretty much aware of what was going to happen. But I think they did a great job with the show. It's different when it comes to superhero stuff, which is always good. It's refreshing change, really. But yeah, I'm not all that interested in the toys that NECA's going to be doing. It really just comes down to what we see. I know that they have every opportunity to do a good job, um, but I don't know that I need a Homelander. I don't need a deep figure. I don't know that I need those, but they might be cool. I say that, and I'll probably buy them all anyway. So we're gonna do, I don't know, maybe 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna call it quits. And I'm gonna try to start working on a review tonight of something. I'm kind of behind, and I'm gonna try to get to bed on time tonight, or sort of on time. Nidorin, if you have not already started on the NECA Turtles line, I mean, it's going to be rough, dude. It's going to be rough. Like, that's all it is. It's rough. If you don't already have them, it's difficult. They did say they're going to try to get them back out there, though. The cartoon stuff in the Fush interview. So maybe, but it is definitely a difficult line to get into if you aren't already in it. Like, I would hate to. If I didn't have this stuff already, it would be a very different collector situation for me if I had to go back and try to get them. Yeah, they mentioned in the interview, because Nick asked him that they've gotten so far along. What are they going to do for people who are only just now getting in? There's a huge barrier to entry. So even if you can't go back and say get like Triceratons or anything, if you're going to collect turtles, you need the turtles. So what are they going to do? So I guess they're going to think about something else, or maybe just reissue them, or do them with maybe different accessories or something. Which honestly, I don't want them to, because I really like what they did with the Wave 2 turtles, where they were a lighter color and they came with all the extra stuff. I don't want to have to buy the turtles again. But I had that SDCC set from years ago, so I didn't have to find Wave 1. I did end up finding them all, and then I sold all the turtles and kept all the foot soldiers, because that was the only way to get foot soldiers at the time. Because I have a thing for foot soldier rock building, as you saw earlier with all the Super 7 figures. I'm really looking forward to Android Krang. I do think his proportions look a little odd, but I'm really looking forward to him and Splinter and Baxter. I mean, they really do nail it when it comes to these figures. I mean, obviously, I can't put this one down right now. They're really cool. This guy is so awesome. I love everything about the Triceratons. They're fantastic figures. I've seen people posting that they are finding Wave 1 turtles again, too. So I don't know what they're doing. It's weird that they talk about reissuing them in that interview, and then people are finding them again. I'm not really sure exactly what they're doing, if they're pushing more out, or if they actually did produce more and are getting ready for it. But they're gonna change the packaging up as well, because the original Wave has the modern logo, and then they didn't get the okay to do the original logo until Wave 2 or whatever that was. So if you care about that, hopefully that's all it will be, so people won't feel the need to go back to get extra stuff, because I don't care about the packaging. I don't care about the NECA packaging. How's 2020 been for me in terms of everything? Honestly, it's not been too crazy for me. Um, I've worked at home for the past 9 years to begin with, so this is not anything new for me. Not going out of the house most days is not new for me. So it's just been more of a not not leaving the house more, really. My wife leaves the house for work, but that's about it. Wear the mask and don't get myself into situations where I'm around a bunch of people I don't know, which is fine for me anyway. So it's worked out okay. We've had a couple scares as far as being potentially exposed, but they all didn't amount to anything. So otherwise, pretty decent. all 4 packed with the van. Man, please, I hope they do not even consider packing all 4 with the van. I don't want to, unless it's an option. Pack them all with the van, or you get the van. That would be good. But I don't want to be forced into buying more turtles if I've already got them. So, but yeah, I mean, the NECA stuff it's great to collect, but it's incredibly frustrating at the same time. And I say that as someone who just found the latest thing. I mean, it was really on a whim. Like, I walked into Target and they were there. So, like a week ago, I found Bebop and Rocksteady too. I got them for friends in town who didn't already have them, but it's tough. I didn't post about buying a bunch of these, so I didn't want to like annoy people with my crazy score. So that's why I didn't have one. That's why I only had one in the review at the time. But hopefully everybody will be able to get them. I'm curious how long they're going to last on Target's website when they actually go up. Considering Tracking Granitor lasted like 25 minutes, I think these have a pretty good chance, especially if they limit them to like 2. 2 is good to start. So we'll see. The Mandalorian Stormtrooper, the Black Series one? Andrew, the Black Series one? That one? They are great. I did get the I should have brought him out. I did finally get my SH Figuarts Beskar Mando and Child too. Those things sat in Los Angeles for like a week and a half for some reason and didn't move. So I've been waiting on those, and that's why I didn't do a review of that. The Incinerator Trooper, I don't have him yet. Haven't found him, and my case hasn't arrived either. So I'll yeah, I haven't gotten them yet. Any interest in the Bebop Rocksteady, the 2-pack, the Turtles in Time? Very much interested. I mean, I've got both waves so far. I think those look really cool. There's some reuse, but they are they look really good. I mean, I like a lot of that goofy stuff, so it works really. I mean, that's like what Randy said in the interview. Like, it was that kind of goofy, weird Turtles thing that sets Turtles apart in so many ways, and it's kind of a specific entry in that game too. So I'm there for it. I'm really happy that they decided to do those. I kind of figure it was a matter of time because we got the bunny ones. So yeah, why not do them all? Do all the Bebop and Rocksteady. I'll be surprised, honestly, if they don't do their human forms at some point. I think that would be like one they could do later down in the road, and would be a really cool. That would be a good loot crate because it's not necessary, but it would be a really unique figure. Do I have the movie Venom yet? No, I don't. I actually thought I was going to score them today. I walked into Target and there were 8 spider ghosts or whatever they're called on the shelf. My store got a single case pack of that Gwenum figure, which is really weird. So I have a case coming from Entertainment Earth. I just chose poorly on the pre-order this time, and they came. They finally started shipping, but Entertainment Earth takes so long. I probably won't have them for at least a week. I'm kind of itching for them though. Jay Hernandez and D Amazing's got me needing multiple Carnages to do Carnage army building because that's a thing now. So I've got a third one. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that Targets are getting solid case packs. I saw when I posted a picture on Twitter of my Gwenum find, and then somebody said that they saw Miles as 8, and then someone said their store had 8 Venoms. Someone said their store had 8 Carnages. But I'm really interested in it. I never even saw the Venom movie. Didn't have any interest in it whatsoever, but I like the design, and I like this Carnage, and I like the Build-A-Figure. So I'm really interested in it. And I struggle to think of who else is in this wave. Miles and Gwenum and 2 other figures. So I can't think of who they are, but we'll see. I'll probably have those and the Black Series case next week. Robo just did the review for that entire Black Series wave. Did he Phage? Yes, I do want Phage. I like symbiotes. I don't know how I forgot about that one. Morbius, yeah, Morbius. That Morbius looks cool. It's really S&M 90s look, so I like that. I'm not. I say I'm not a huge Spidey guy, but I'm a symbiote guy. Like I like Spider-Man, but I don't go crazy over Spider-Man. But I like symbiote stuff. Yeah. What 5 figures would I take with me if in an apocalyptic scenario? Okay, this is going to be the last question for the night. We're going to end it with this one. 5 figures. 5. Shit, that's a good question. That's a good question. My 5 figures, off the top of my head, 5 figures that I would have to take with me. My first of all, my vintage childhood Lino. So that's number one. There's a theme there, obviously. My original Motu Classics He-Man. Upcoming Toka, since you can use them as a mace. Man, that thing looks dangerous. Simply dangerous. So, Mojo Classics He-Man and Vintage Lion-O. My vintage TMNT Wingnut, because that's my favorite TMNT figure. And that's on any given day, probably my favorite line of all time. What else? That's a great question, but damn, that's a hard question to just like rattle off. 5 minutes from now, it'll be something different. That's 3. I'll say 2 more. One of them would be my vintage. There's vintage stuff because a lot of stuff would be childhood nostalgic stuff. Vintage White Ranger, the 8-inch one, the big one, the Bandai one from '93. And then for my last pick would be damn, that's a good question. It's a good question, but a tough question. My last pick would be probably my NECA Leo, the movie one. This is my favorite NECA turtle in general. And it's my favorite turtle. And it's the best version of that figure or that character. That's probably. Now that I think about it, that sounds like a bad list. But that's a good question, though. That's one to think about. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'm gonna call it quits there so I can try to get some sleep and not be up way too late tonight. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. I'm sorry that we had some craziness with the stream early on. I don't know what's going on. We'll try to figure it out for next time, and we'll try to make sure it doesn't happen when I'm on Unparalleled Universe's stream on Friday. So I'm going to be on his channel 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, or whatever. So if you don't already follow him. Check him out. He and I are going to shoot the shit for a few hours and talk to us. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Congrats to the winner of the Cobra Commander. Message me if you haven't already, man, and I will get him out to you. Take care, guys. I'll see you later.